Hello all and welcome to the first recap of the BUSR Winter Championship, an 8-week-long season taking our drivers across the world in ACC, iRacing, F123 and Dirt Rally 2.0. And if you enjoy what you see here, make sure to subscribe and hit the bell as we post highlights every week and broadcast live at 7 PM on Mondays, Thursdays and Saturdays. ACC takes our drivers to Silverstone for the opening round of the season. In qualifying, Anna Langsdale-Foster was first out on track to set a time, putting her into P4, but it was James White who had topped the qualifying session, with Callum Porter taking P2 and a new face in Boyan Gilroy taking P3. White would have a good takeoff at race start, but it was havoc further back with Gilroy coming off track and Aidan Chatburn being spun round, creating chaos. It wasn't long until Sam Knight and Nellens would also find themselves facing the wrong way. Astra Kansev would make from P17 to P11, avoiding the chaos, but would quickly lose it all when he collided with Chatburn, earning himself a 30-second time penalty. Callum Porter had a close call when Josh Lodge lost control in front of him, but luckily heavy damage was avoided. The back of the grid would start pitting earlier, with the front runners pitting later. The race would settle with everyone completing their mandatory pit stop. Gilroy and Larson would have a scary moment when they came together, but both kept it on the track and kept their places. Porter would catch up to Barley Watts and they would have a last lap showdown for P3, but Watts would defend to keep overall third. It would be James White to take the overall and student class win, with Gilroy taking second in the student class on debut, a fantastic performance. Ed Haskell would round out the student podium with third. Next week the drivers will head to Valencia for a sprint weekend. For the opening round of the iRacing Championships, our drivers head to Laguna Seca in the GR86s. Barley Watts would have a strong qualifying session, placing himself on pole, with James White in P2. Peter Sather would laterally lose out, starting in P3 next to Ed Haskell. The grid would be rounded off by Astra Kansev in P5 and DeMonk in P6. The first race would see Watts and Stather battle at the front, leaving the rest of the grid to battle it out behind. It wasn't long before the experienced alumni drivers would all find themselves at the front, with Watts flying off into the distance. Stather and White would make contact while battling to the line, with White taking P3 and the student class win in the first race. Cope would take P2, but it was Marley Watts who took the overall win in race 1. The feature race would once again see Watts take off into the lead, and Astra Kansev spin in the first corner. He was not the only one though, and Haskell would find himself sideways moments later, letting Astra Kansev back through. Koch and Marley would battle for the lead, and Stather and White would battle for the third podium spot. Haskell would catch up to Astra Kansev and get back into fifth. Koch would take the lead going into the final lap to take the feature race win, with Watts having to settle for second. Stather and White would battle to the end again, this time Stather out on top for overall third, the podium being dominated by alumni drivers. Next week will be the first oval round as the drivers head to the Legacy Phoenix track in the street stocks. F1 would follow the real world calendar and return to COTA this week. Going into the race, Dassin was the top seed after pre-season time trial and qualifying, followed by the double champion Matti Mumu. The top three in qualifying were Matti with a 1:31, Dassin and then Joe not too far behind. The race started with Matti jumping the start, getting a 4-second gap to the cars behind. Towards the back of the grid, Alpha set an adventurous move on Cameron Searle into turn 11 which caused havoc. On lap 7 the safety car came out when Tom Hug had a race-ending collision with Geek, who half-spun into the fast right of T17-18. This led to the majority of the grid pitting for fresh tyres, but the top three were unable to pit as the safety car came out as they passed the pit lane. With fresh rubber, Jaraki and Matti were able to make up positions, and by lap 11 Jaraki had made it into the lead. On lap 18 it started to rain, and by lap 19 it was ready for intermediate tyres. The slippery track caused carnage into the pit lane, with BUSR pitting late and spinning, leading to both his DNF and a collision with Assassin and Dayton, causing damage to both cars. The drivers kept the safety car restart clean, with Matti getting a great restart and quickly building himself with a nice buffer to Cameron Searle behind. Meanwhile, Joe, Assassin and Dayton nearly made it 3 wide at the T1. Matti was able to pull clear and win by 6 seconds, winning the first race of the season, followed by Cameron Searle, who managed to get a great race and gained 8 places during the race. The final podium position was won by Dayton after Geek was awarded a 10-second time penalty for an earlier incident in the race, which sent him down to 7th. This season's Rally Winter Championship is also a farewell to Dirt Rally 2.0. Our longest serving title here is BUSR, having run alongside ACC since our inception and once hosting 2 separate competitive championships. It's moving aside for the new EA Sports WRC title in the new year. The first rally took us to the United States for the final time, as it is not part of the WRC's roster. These famous stages in the Olympus Rally invite brave lines over brine jumps and cutting through the undergrowth, and even the best can get unstuck on these tests. That happened on the very first stage. Jack Noller, reigning champion from the summer, crashed out after taking the wrong set of tyres leaving service. This would leave the way clear for Doomskull, world record holder in the States, to take a second win from as many starts and as many years in the Washington State. Winning the first stage by 17 seconds, Doomskull went unbeaten with a grand slam of 7 stage wins, the fastest time on the rally-ending power stage, and leading the rally from the first sector split to the final time control. Elsewhere, a blend of new and familiar faces made up the chasing pack. Penelope Dobbins was fastest out of the blocks in the alumni class in Nola's absence, but she was unable to keep up with 2 first-time competitors in the student class, with mistakes relegating her to 4th. These 2 newbies were none other than F1 champions Matty Boomu and Dasher, who followed Doomskull home on the podium. Our competitors will be back to Europe for round 2 as they say farewell to Rally GTs and the Pans Plateau Complex in Germany. That concludes the round 1 recap for the new season. If you'd like to get in on the action, a university student or alumni, then simply head over to our Discord at busr.gg/discord to sign up to any events. Otherwise, thank you for watching and we'll hope to see you again soon. Bye for now.